made millions of dollars day trading, this is how the law of detachment has helped me. When I first started trading, I was obsessed with the outcome. The outcome is the money that comes with trading. I was so obsessed, I would check my phone every 10 seconds. Didn't matter if I was in a trade or I was not in a trade. Every loss that I took felt personal. It was something that I did wrong. It was something that the markets had against me. I was so obsessed that I didn't realize that that same obsession, the attachment to the outcome, is what was holding me back. My emotions were all over the place. Every win felt like a relief off my shoulder, and I wasn't in control. The markets were in control of me. They were in control of my emotions, and I was too attached to the markets. I was too attached to ever be profitable. It took me well over 4 years to master this. It's a mindset shift I had to make to get the results that I have currently. Everyone, including myself, is in trading because of the money. But the attachment to that money, it's going to be what's going to be holding you back from being profitable. You have to master detachment. You have to master an understanding that you have to remove yourself and your own self-worth from the attachment of trading. Because that's when the emotions kick in. When the revenge trading, when the overtrading, the FOMO, all those emotions kick in because you're too attached to the outcome. You're not thinking about the process. I had a conversation with a student actually today. And I told him the moment you stop caring about the money is the moment you will notice the biggest results you possibly can with your trading. And it's something I want to tell that to everybody. As soon as you can detach yourself from the outcome, the sooner you will make money. But now, how can we do that? What are the steps we can take to have the mindset shift that the detachment is the true key to profitability? Well, the first thing we have to do is set intentions. Whenever we set intentions is when we can take our first step in intentions. It's kind of close together, but set intentions. When we can set intentions is the first step that we can take towards detachment, because we are attached to the money aspect, we're attached to the greed and the fear that comes with trading, that we don't have our intentions aligned to what is our goal. So say your intentions, write it down, take it on a piece of paper, do it as I'm telling you. What is your goal? Your intentions are simply your goal. What is your goal with trading? And everybody's goal will be a little bit different. Is it you want to help out your family? Is it you want to quit your job? Is it you just want a side income on top of your job to go on a vacation? Well, when we have intentions, we have to write down our goal. What is our goal with trading? Now that we have our goal, we can write in what is the process of getting to that goal? Is it being funded? Is it being on a live account aiming for 1% a week? Is it getting a $5,000 payout? What is the process that we need? So now when we analyze what the process is, we can think about all we gotta do through the process is do the work. The process is simply you doing the work. This is all this becomes. You doing the work. You doing the work will get you to the outcome that eventually comes after a process. So this will be our outcome. But if we look at it in this regard, if we look at it in this way, we understand that detachment is us removing ourselves from simply the outcome and us putting ourselves in this box. So once you analyze your goal, we have a goal in mind, we write down what is the process of that goal. If it's doing the work, we need to get funded on 5 accounts, right? If we want to pay out, if we're looking to copy trade, if we're looking to make 1% a year. This is where our focus should be. And this we shouldn't care about. And you're like, Antonio, this is crazy. Why should I not care about the outcome? Why should I not care about me actually reaching your goal? Why should I get detached to this and start getting attached to this? Because this will happen regardless. You focusing simply on the outcome actually does not get you any closer to the outcome, because the outcome is just a byproduct of us doing the work. This is what we can actually influence. Having a goal is a dream, and we can manifest that and we can think about that, but there's not actually anything we can physically do day in and day out to help us to daydream about that goal, having a goal. A goal is simply what your desires. So we cannot focus on the goal in an every single day aspect. We cannot focus on the outcome because the outcome cannot happen because what really happens, the work that we're doing is in a process. So this really should become the focus. We remove ourselves from focusing on the last step. This is the last step, right? If we're setting intentions, our intention is to be a trader and our intention is to be profitable. What are our intentions going to lead? What goal do we want with those? What can we do for those? What plan can we make? That's your goal. And then what process we need to do. And then after all this, the outcome comes. But the issues were attached to the outcome. You have to not care about making money. You have to not care about it so that you're only focused on this. But the problem is we care so much about the money. We care so much about the outcome because we're attached to it that it will ruin our process. It will bring in emotional distress in the form of fear and greed. Everything in trading comes down to fear and greed, nothing else. So because of those two things, because we have fear and because we have greed, because we are not detached from the outcome, we make all the mistakes that is FOMO, revenge trading, not listening to our plans. Think about this. All of us have built a trading plan. All of us know what is a really positive setup. All of us know the things that you should do when you're looking at the charts. But what is the problem and why are you not following it? It's because everything goes out the window when you start attaching yourself to the outcome. When you start attaching and caring too much about your outcome, which is the money, which is the payouts, which is passing the account, and we're not attaching ourselves to just doing the work. Because if you're doing the work, you don't care if you're red or green for the day. You care about, did I actually follow my plan? Did I actually trade with intentions? Did I actually trade in a manner that I will be proud of myself? And another way you can do this, and I recommend everybody does this, is when you're in a trade, record yourself. Turn on your mic, turn on your camera. Record yourself during your trading session. Explain to the camera, although nobody's going to be watching, it's just going to be you, why you're taking a trade. When are you taking a trade? Where's your stop loss, your profit target? What is your plan? And then watch that trade again. Watch your own self. Would that be somebody that you'd be proud of watching? Would that be somebody that you think you could learn from? And if the answer is no, it means you're making mistakes that you need to work to get better. Now, the beautiful thing of understanding the law of detachment is it doesn't just work in trading. It works on all aspects of your life. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a business. Let's say I have a business. Now, if I care about just simply making money, my business is not to make money. Why? Because the money is an outcome. If I focus myself, if I detach myself from the money and I attach myself to serving people, serving an amazing product to people, guess what's going to happen in my business? It's going to blow up. It's going to make a ton of money, right? Just like in trading. But now this can be applied to relationships. Let's say I'm in a relationship and my only focus is my own self. And I'm not focused on caring about the other person. I'm not focused on other things. There's just not myself and my own personal emotions. You will have a much better relationship. And in trading, it applies all the same. If we stop focusing on simply, if we detach ourselves from simply the outcome over trades and we stop being a slave to our trading outcomes, is when you can see results. If I'm in a trade and I'm sitting there praying, feeling stressed, checking my heart and feeling like my heart is beating, guess what? You care too much about that trade. And you might be thinking, Antonio, why shouldn't I care? I'm trading, right? Like that's my job. That's what I'm trying to do. I should care. You should only care about what you can influence. And your influence is your trading plan, your confluences. Did you read the market right? It doesn't matter if it was green or red. I'm not asking you, were you green or red on that trade? I'm just asking you, did you do the best in your abilities on that trade? Did you understand it? Did you do top-down analysis? Did you shop pre-market? Did you journal it? When you do all those things, the green and red doesn't matter. You don't care if that trade is going to get stopped out. You don't care if that trade is going to hit TP. You're not in there gambling your emotions with your platform accounts. You're in there with a purpose. And I used to do the same thing. And I remember when I was a beginner trader, I would care so much about every single trade. I will live in the moment only. And this is where the law of detachment really hurts people, is we're not understanding the bigger picture. Trading is all about the bigger picture. Bigger picture. The trading is, if you have a red day, and we all have had red days, I've had plenty, I have them all the time. Can you remember a red trade that you had from a year ago? 90% of you guys are going to say no. So why in that moment, that day, did you tilt and fall to all your emotions? Because you weren't looking at the bigger picture. You're so attached to that moment, that one single trade, failing to understand that you have an edge over the market with if you do with a profitable strategy. It doesn't matter if that trade is red. It doesn't matter if that day is red, if that week is red. What matters is the bigger picture. After 6 months, how many payouts did you get? What was your P&L sitting at after 6 months? We can't imagine and visualize ourselves in that bigger picture if we don't learn to detach ourselves. And detaching yourself will also bring a sense of relief when you trade. And if you can trade free, if you can trade with relief, every single trade you take will exponentially be better. The truth is, you're not worrying about every single tick that's moving. You're not worried about going to break even right away and closing your trades too early. You're not worried about adjusting your stop losses down because you don't want to take an L on the trade. You will respect your plan because you're detached from the outcome, because you don't care about the outcome. All you care about is understanding that you're doing the best that you can of your abilities. And it is okay to be wrong. It is okay to not understand the markets at all times. We're not here to predict markets. You're not here to guess the direction of price at every single time. Unlike what you watch on Twitter and all these people on social media make you believe. You're in there waiting for the market to show you the opportunity that aligns with your trading plan. And when the opportunity shows up, you capitalize on that. Everything and anything that happens before or after is irrelevant to you. I tell people this all the time. I have people question, let's say, this happens to me all the time. Let's say I'm trading, during a day I'm trading. So let's say this was the chart for the day. This was the chart for the day. And I took a trade that was my entry here. Let's say this marker is not working. Well, we'll do another marker. Let's say this was my entry and my exit was 0. And I missed, and this is a small move within the New York session, and I missed this move, I missed this move, I missed this move, this move, this move. I had traders ask me, or students ask me, Antonio, like, why didn't you take this trade? Why didn't you take this trade? This trade was a bigger move. This trade was a bigger move. Why did you catch this little trade? And I tell them, because I don't care what's happening if it wasn't aligned with my trading plan. I'm detached from the markets. I don't care. I show up to the markets and I literally don't care what the markets are going to do. I'm detached. All I think I'm attached to is this opportunity to present itself that fits my trading plan, and I'm going to be proud of that trading plan. That's all I ask myself. Detachment also aligns with the market. You cannot care what the market's going to do. And a lot of you guys do this. A lot of you guys have this extremely strong bias. You're like, well, I read on Twitter the market is overvalued. I read on Twitter that, hey, the stock valuation of PLTR, Nvidia, it's way too much. I'm going to be shorting. And guess what? The market just keeps going higher. It keeps going higher and higher. But you attach yourself to an emotion of the markets. You're trading emotionally. You're trading based off a belief. You're not trading based off your trading plan. And so we become too attached, where our life becomes too attached to the markets, where our life becomes too attached to making money. And it's what all the mistakes of 99% of traders are. They're right there. So I can teach you the technicals. You can learn the technicals within 2 months from me. That's very easy. But this is the hardest part. Learning how to readjust and rewire yourself from what you thought your whole life to something completely different that we trade inside the markets. Now, where did I make my biggest shift on the law of detachment? My biggest one came during my bootcamp in the Army. And it's gonna be a personal story, not a lot of people can relate, but if you're in the military, you will understand this. The Army and the military will teach you that to detach yourself from your own person. You learn that you are not the center of the world, which is exactly what everything else in life doesn't teach us. You're always taught in life, especially if you live in America, right, that you are the most important thing. Do what benefits you, nothing else matters. Get ahead of others at jobs, be the best student in the class, be the best at your sport, and it's great. But because of that, we're putting too much self-worth on the outcomes. We care too much about us only have positive goals and not accepting defeat. We are attached to winning now. The detachment needs to leave from trading that it's not always about winning. The best losers win. And what the military taught you or taught me, the military was that it's not about you, but it's about the whole unit, the group, the team, right? So I got rid of this you mentality and so hyper-focused on myself, and I started thinking a bigger picture, which was, what is the benefit of others? What can I do that might not be the best for my needs? I might have to work harder, but the others are almost more important. And I live a lot of my life in this mindset. And you might say, Antonio, you're super successful, you make a lot of money, you care more about others than yourself. I thought you were gonna be greedy and things like that. The truth is not. The truth is not. I care more about others. I care about my family that I had to make trading work. That's why I did it. If it was only because of me, trust me, I don't care enough about myself to done that. I detached myself from my own personal greedy beliefs and I attach myself to what I can do for others. What can I do to change my family future? For my son, mother-in-law, wife, all those things. So I detach myself that I wasn't the most important thing. So if I'm not the most important thing, when I lose a trade, I'm okay with it. I'm detached from my own self-worth being based if I'm winning or I'm losing. I'm attached to getting to a goal and following the process to help others. This is why when I ask you, when you write your goal, you need a why. When you write your goal, when it comes to trading or anything in life, you need a why. It's the worst why ever. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to be a trader? Why do you want to make that money? If you're just telling yourself, I want a why because I want to drive a nice car, that why is just not strong enough. And I've seen this so many times because everybody tells me those same things. Since that why needs to be something bigger than yourself, because that will help you detach from this. You can detach from yourself if that why is bigger. Think about this. Why are hedge funds more successful than people? Why can smart money is always winning? Because it's not one single individual trading it. It's a group. They come up with their plan and they execute on the plan. There's no emotions. There's no, we're doing as this guy. There's no ego in that trade. Because it's a group. So you have to approach your trading the same way. You have to remove the ego. You have to detach yourself from your own greed. Detach yourself from not being able to take a loss and attach yourself with learning. Attach yourself with the process. Attach yourself with looking at a bigger picture. Attach yourself with a strong why that you are not going to give yourself the chance to give up. When you can detach yourself from all the things I spoke to you about, detach yourself from the right things that are going to lead you to making money. All the most successful people in the world, They were process focused, they were in love with the process, and the outcome came from that hard work and the process. If you want to learn from me, if you want to learn directly, I will leave a link down below. You can apply to be a one-on-one student. I'll accept a handful every single month. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video.